Good morning from Mexico City and welcome to today's lower body stress reset, followed by a chill session with yours truly. For the first part of this video, we are going to be doing movements and maneuvers that are designed, especially if you've been experiencing pain and tension in the hips, in the low back, in the knees, the ankles, anything down here where you're just like, this is gonna really help to reset that. And then in the second part of this, we are going to get into a fun dialogue talking about the sources of the chronic tension in our lives and how to be able to create a consistent flow of harmony through it. So find yourself a comfortable seated position. We're gonna be on the floor. You can use a mat, or I'm using a towel today, or you can just use your floor wherever you're at, and we will begin shortly. For the first maneuver that we're going to do an ankle release. So for this, we're going to take our fingers, we're going to interlace them. We're going to interlace them, we're going to wrap them around right here, this like ankle point. We're going to wrap them around, we're going to squeeze, kind of like squeezing our hands together. Squeeze them together, and we're going to pull the skin up towards the knee. We're going to pull it up. And as you're doing that, you're gonna push your foot through like this, and then rotate myself so you can get a better angle. We're gonna breathe in and out through the mouth as we flex forward and back, side to side. You're just gonna move your foot all around, and we're gonna breathe. So breathe in and out. 2, 3, focusing on the breath, focusing on the movement. 4, 5, 6, great. And we're gonna do the entire left side. We're just gonna do them back to back, because what I wanna do is have you create a real mental point image between, like, okay, I did one side, how does that feel? How's the tension feel? And it's gonna be pretty fun. You're gonna feel something pretty dope. So we're gonna do the same thing, interlace the fingers, and now where we were on the ankle, we're gonna come a little bit higher up into this like shin area. Again, squeeze, pull up, push the foot through, and moving that ankle, and moving the ankle front, back, side to side, and we're gonna breathe 6 times. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Keep the fingers interlaced, but this time, instead of going over, we're gonna go underneath. And you're gonna go right below where the calf is. We're gonna reach right underneath there. Again, squeeze, we're gonna pull, and we're gonna push that foot through again. Pushing and extending. And again, front, back, side to side, 6 breaths. Breathe in. Feel the movements, bring awareness to your leg as you're doing it. 2, moving with intention. 4, 5, 6. Good, release that, shake it out a little bit. Same thing, interlace the fingers now. We're gonna go underneath the bend in the knee, right above where that bend happens. Interlace, pull, pull back, pulling towards your body, extending that leg through. And here, again, front, back, side to side. One thing I also like to do is to go between bent and extended. So bent knee, extended knee, moving around side to side. And again, 6 breaths. Breathe in. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Good. Slowly release that. Shake her out. Now we're going to go into another ankle release. So we're going to take our right hand. This is all to the left side, by the way. So wrapping underneath the ankle. And with this, I take my hand, I go underneath. I'm reaching my fingers around, and I'm gripping right here at the ankle. Taking my left hand, I'm reaching it up and over. And I'm going to imagine like wringing a towel. So my right hand is going to wring away from me, and my left hand is going to wring towards me. I'm going to wring it out. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. That's normal. And again, front, back, side to side as we breathe 6 times. Breathe in. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 'Good. And shake it out. You're about to feel something real dope if you're not already starting to feel some changes in the knees, some changes in the ankle. We're going to do one more on this side. It is the crossover. It's one of my personal favorites, and it's deep. It's great. So what we're going to do for the crossover is, I think will be the best with the sunlight. We'll go to this side. Actually, we're doing the left side, so we'll do this side. There we go. So we're going to come onto our back. And from here, we're going to take our left leg. We're going to cross it over our right leg. We're going to hug. We're going to pull the knees into the chest, just like such. We're going to take our hands. We're going to reach them up and over to the best of our ability to try and grab right around the back towards the calf. So right around here. Same thing on this side, trying to reach here. You can go towards the ankle a little bit more if that's easier. You can grab the foot as well. I'm going to grab right around the calf today. We're going to pull them apart. So sideways and towards us. Being that I'm doing my left side, I'm going to bring my head to the left. But what you want to do is you want to bring your head to the left or the right, depending on where your tension pattern is. We want to turn towards tension. So find that spot, reach around, start to pull. You're going to feel it right there in the hips, and you're going to breathe in and out through the mouth 6 times. Breathe in. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Slowly unwind. All right, so now we just completed our left side. Put your legs straight for a second and just like shake them out and see what you notice. See if you feel any difference in the fluidity and the movement. I'm going to get up and walk around for a second, so I'm not going to be in perfect view, but I want you to join me. So we're going to get up and walk around the space. And all I want you to do is just notice, how do you feel between your left side and your right side. Or if you happen to do your right side first, that's fine. You're just gonna do the same thing the opposite side. So again, feeling the difference and keeping your eyes up as you look around. What do you notice in the ankle? What do you notice in the knee? What do you notice in the hip? What do you notice in your back? Because clearly we have one body and one system. And whenever we make changes in one part, it has a cascade of effects in different parts of our body. And when we can start to notice the changes that are happening, it actually reinforces the change in our mind and our body. So we bring that back into this harmony and unicity back in our body. All right, now coming back to center, noticing those changes, and now we're gonna go do the same thing to the right side. So, ankle release, pot one, interlace the fingers, bring them into that ankle. There we go. Pulling up, trying to get all kinds of shading over here. Maybe I should just move my camera. Maybe that'll be a little bit better now that the sun is doing different sunny things. Okay, so pulling up on the ankle from back side to side. You know the drill. We've been doing it. Breathe in. Two. Moving with intention, moving slow. Three. Feel. It's like a finger pointing to the moon. Bruce Lee quote. If you don't know it, look it up. It's great. 4. 5. 6. 'Good. Gently release. Sliding up the shin. Good grip. Pull up. Push that foot through. Breathe in 6 times. In. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And one thing about this practice that I really enjoy, or these types of movement practices, is that it doesn't require perfect focus. It requires attention and intention and bringing our awareness to places. But I can also just kind of do it and look around, enjoy the sky, enjoy the sounds of the birds, the chirping. And unlike, for instance, like breathwork and meditation, it's very sometimes just so like, yeah. This is one way to still cultivate movement and intention and mindfulness through movement. Yeah. Interlacing the fingers underneath, right below the calf. Pull up, push that foot through. Breathe in as we move. Breathe in. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Good. Slowly release. Underneath the bend, right above, interlace, pull, extend and bend side to side. Breathe in. 2. 3. Are you ever experiencing trembles? That's normal. That's the body's way of expressing and releasing stress, tension, trauma. 4. 5. 6. 6. Good, shaking that out. And coming back to the ankle. Now, left hand is going to go underneath the right ankle, reaching underneath, like so. Left hand reaches over. Left hand, or right hand, reaches over. Left hand is going to turn away, so that way. And the right hand is going to twist towards me. Twist, a little uncomfortable, that's normal. And breathe and move. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, slowly release. Shake it out. And coming to our final movement. We're gonna do crossover on the other side. So, coming to your back once again. It's gonna really shade me in, isn't it? You'll be able to see, it's fine. All right, so I'm a little darkened out, but you know what's happening. Right leg crosses over left leg, pulling and hugging the knees to the chest, like so. We're gonna reach up and over, grabbing underneath the calves, ankles, or even the feet, depending on what is within your practice today. Do what works for you. Pull them into your chest, pull them apart, look to the left or to the right, depending on where your tension pattern is, and breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slowly release. Gently release. Bring them side to side, shake them, rotate them, let them move. Good, slowly coming up. And once again, putting your legs straight, shake them out, feel what you feel, and then hop up and go for a walk. Now, my recommendation is, as we're starting to bring our practice to a close, if you are just sticking around for the movement practice, cool, go for a walk. Go for a 10 to 15 minute walk, because much like how a computer, when it gets new software updates, needs to install them, reboot, and make it all worky work, same way with our body. When we make these types of changes, we're making a change, or we're making an adjustment to the hardware software, and the walking is what integrates it into our body. And so as you're moving, taking it all in, what do you feel in your body now? How is your hips? How is your back? How is your knees? Walking is what brings everything back together once we have made the changes. All right, bringing it back. Okay. Well, hopefully you got something juicy out of that. You probably did. If you really stuck it out, you probably did. It's honestly one of my favorite practices, because in a world, which I'll get into this a little bit more once we start to transition here, but in a world where we're constantly sitting in our chairs, sitting in our desks, sitting on our couches, whatever it is, it can lead to a lot of stress and tension in the lower body, and it holds a lot for us. And so doing a practice like this, honestly, especially in the beginning, I've done it daily because of the chronic knee pain I experience. It's going to be a great way to reset everything, to feel good, and to bring your body back into a state of peace. So if you are just sticking around for the practice, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to connecting with you in the future. If you want to experience more practices like this and different ways to decrease and unwind stress and tension from the body, along with being able to connect more and live as a function of your authentic expression, I'm leaving a link in the description. You can join me in the community in the Remembrance Dojo. It's a free community, share all kinds of dope resources, and connect with like-minded people. So thank you so much. I love you. Enjoy. Have a dope day. And we will see you in the next one. Hello and welcome back. We have now entered chillin' and chattin' portion of this journey. And the topic that I want to explore with you today is about why I believe that the number one source of dis-ease in life is stress, and what I believe that we can do in order to not have it feel like every fucking day or most days are this constant grind to just keep our head above water, to always feel like we're just trying to feel like, can I just feel okay? Can I feel like I can just get through the day? But to actually get to a place where we are consistently feeling like we are thriving, like we are feeling like we are at peace, and creativity is a natural byproduct of who we are being in the world. Now, funny thing is when I went to record this, I was upstairs on the roof, and right as I started to record it, my phone died. So I had to wait a little bit, but now here we are, chilling and chatting on the patio. This is going to be a fun one for us to explore and get into. So it's probably of no surprise that we're pretty fucking stressed out. And there is a lot of information, and I would go so far as to say competing information around what to do. It has to do with your diet and with your exercise and with breath work and therapists and psychedelics, and there's all these different ways in which we can take care of ourselves to support ourselves in being happy and being healthy. And the challenge is with all of that noise, a confused mind takes no action. When I feel like I'm at fucking Cheesecake Factory, which if you've never been to the Cheesecake Factory, just insert any restaurant that you've ever been to where it's like they handed you an encyclopedia and said, here's the menu. And you have 30 different types of burgers, 30 different types of pastas, 30 different types of French fries, or whatever the hell they put on desserts in Cheesecake Factory. It feels like there's so much. And when it feels like there's so much, we don't know where to begin. And I think that actually the answer of where to begin is often much simpler than we make it. And it actually ends up adding to the stress because the indecision or just kind of going with what we've always done can be helpful to a degree. But in terms of not feeling like we're constantly treading, but actually getting to a consistent place of thriving, the raising of the baseline, if my average has been -1, 2, 3 versus +1, 2, 3, 4, and it's scales up, we want to continue to elevate our baseline. Well, instead of focusing solely on what can I do that is directly meant to just add, so what things can I do for what duration and what frequency? I can do breath work, I can do psychedelics, I can do those things with the right attention, with the right setting, so on and so forth. But often where I find myself going now more than ever is, before I add something, why don't I try eliminating something? Because if I have a proverbial hot air balloon and I want to start to fly up, I can put more and more and more and more heat into the balloon to make it expand and rise. But if it's anchored to the ground and has all these tethers that are keeping it from going, it's diminishing the result that I could have from any practice. And so what this looks like practically is, for instance, one, I need to pick a specific area of my life. So if I have a generality of feeling stressed and I say, well, what is the singular thing that is causing me the most stress? Because I can go and work on micro things, but if I do the micro things, then I might get like little bits and pieces. But to really dramatically change our baseline, it comes from looking at the thing that is most dipping from our peace. That's dipping from us feeling well. And so I'll take using the lower body reset that we did before this as an example. We did the lower body reset. The lower body reset is designed to release stress and tension in the lower body. And when the lower body is in stress and tension, it refers as pain or tension. So for instance, I have knee pain. I've had constant knee pain. This is actually a true thing. I actually just hit my tripod. I've had chronic knee pain for years and years and years. And I did a lot of dumb shit. I added a lot of dumb things. I tried stretching and exercising and doing yoga. I tried adding all these things. Not that these practices and stuff don't work and haven't worked for people, but I was trying to add more and more to try and fix something. But the problem is when I'm trying to add something, so imagining like having a cup and I'm trying to add water to the top, you think, well, it's going to fill up, great, but what about if the bottom of the cup is hollowed out? You can pour an infinite amount of any positive stuff, but if it's just falling right through, it's not being received. And so using my knees as an example, I encourage you to bring in your own example of a chronic experience of pain, of tension, of stress in your life. For me, with the knees, I was adding all these things, but then at some point, it was just getting worse. It wasn't getting better. I'd hit this point where like it would get a little bit better, but then I would just get stuck. And I was constantly in a pain state of 3 to 4 on average, just walking around and being, which is crazy to me because I've had no major injuries. I've had nothing that would immediately elicit that type of response in my body. What's going on? What I would later find was that the problem wasn't that I needed to do more PT, do more practices. It was I needed to eliminate the things that were adding to the levels of stress and inflammation in my body, which, by the way, stress and inflammation creates pressure and expands. If I have all this pressure, if you think about like a balloon, expand, 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 well, it gets to a certain point where it's like, I can't hold anymore. And in the same way, like our body is a pressurized system. And so when we're experiencing pain and tension, for instance, with me, there's all this pressure that's being pushed up. It's creating tension inside of my knee. And then I reference it and I say, well, this is pain. Well, if I do certain, for instance, maneuvers, it helps to redistribute that pressure and things feel better. But here's the sinister thing about it is I would do these practices every day to feel better. And then I go about my day. And then the next morning, there I was in the same pain. What's the issue? And the issue was that I hadn't solved the root cause of the dilemma called my lifestyle is adding stress, pain, and tension to my body. For instance, sitting too long in a chair, which if we imagine I'm sitting in a chair, if I'm sitting like this all the time, I am creating calcification. I'm teaching my body to maintain this position. And now if I maintain this position all the time, what this is doing is it's forcing pressure up into my knee. It's forcing pressure up into my knee. It's calcifying, it's solidifying my body into this bent position, which is sending all this pressure upwards because it's almost like I'm squeezing the balloon here and sending it up. So I'm sitting all the time. Okay, well then I try standing all the time. And it's like, well, now I'm standing all the time and it is moving pressure in a different way. And so what I would later come to find through repetition is, like instead of just trying to add things to solve it or to fix it, what I actually needed to do was look at what I needed to start doing less or what I needed to shift and change. So the problem wasn't necessarily sitting at all times in all forms is bad, or standing at all times in all forms is bad or good. It's a mixture. I need to be sitting on the floor just like I am right now. I need to be sitting in a squat position because the squat's very natural for us to be inside of. It's rolling forward, it's standing up, it's having one knee bent and having the other knee bent as I'm sitting up. So like kind of like in this position and then switching and then doing the other side. And so even more recently, I found myself in a position where I was used to having a standing desk so I could elevate it and bring it down. Like that was one of the solutions that I did. Like that was something I added was to help me to be able to keep myself moving up, down, side to side, etc. And then when I stopped doing that, because we moved, I didn't have the standing desk, I started to notice that same thing was coming up. And so what this illuminates then is this idea that, yes, there are sometimes things for us to add, but oftentimes what we need to look at first is what am I doing that's creating this problem to begin with? Instead of trying to put a Band-Aid on it by adding PT and adding other things, it's because you'll go and get a massage. I would go and get a massage, which I was doing. I was doing PT type work. I was doing fascial maneuvers. I was doing all these things. But again, the thing would continue to come back. And so this is the problem that we have when we start to outsource our healing or outsource our release of stress and pain is I put it on the massage therapist, I put it on the PT person, I do whatever I can do in order to outsource it, when the reality is that the source of it is I still haven't learned the lesson called, can I slow down? Can I tune in? And can I start to receive the messages that my body is trying to give me? The wisdom that it is trying to share. Because as we slow down, eventually the answer becomes clear. That something that I am doing is out of alignment with what the highest expression, highest intention of my being is. I eat certain foods and my body expresses and tells me it's off through gas, through bloating, through diarrhea, through pain, through distension. That's the body's way of sending a text saying, hey bro, you know that shit ain't good, don't eat that. When I move certain ways or don't move in certain ways, then my body expresses through pain, through tension, etc. And so if we see these as messages that just need to be heeded and ask the question, like, what is my body trying to communicate to me? Then eventually we start to understand. Like, for instance, with me, one of the things that I started to learn as I paid attention to even deeper meanings is like, oh, like my constant, consistent source of pain in the knees are often associated with the experience of like bearing weight and moving forward in life. And if it's on the left side of my body, it pertains to the right side of the brain, which is the feminine. If it was in the right knee, then it pertains to the left side. So maybe there's like a stuckness in being able to move forward in relationship to the masculine or feminine. This goes deep, but the point that I want to pull out in this is that sometimes the answer isn't, I need to go and get, in this context, is go and get more massage. It's, I need to start to address the root cause of the issue that is being shown. I need to listen to my body. I need to slow down. And so my encouragement to you, if you come and you do the fascial maneuver practices that I'm creating, we're creating, the breathwork practices, you're listening to the videos, etc. What I don't want is to have them be another way for you to delude yourself or for me to delude myself when I listen to someone else's videos or practices, because I do as well, is to see them solely, only as the solution, but to see them as a part of the solution. Because the true ability to heal and to come back into the remembrance of our wholeness is already within us. It's just having the willingness to slow down to understand it. So that these practices are supportive, they are supplemental, and they can be an important part, and remembering to take a look at the things that are cutting out the bottom of our cup. So that way, everything that we pour in is being received fully into the vessel. So, net, bringing it all together, if stress is, and I do believe that it is, the greatest source of disease, if we add tremendous amounts of chronic stress to the body, we are increasing all-cause mortality, all forms of things that are going to kill us, make us feel sick, make us feel unhealthy, move out of disharmony, move into disharmony and out of harmony. It's going to be stress. And so stress, something that, healthy amount of stress is good, but the unhealthy amounts and the unhealthy types, distress versus eustress, things like exercise, cold shower, running up a hill, those types of things, can be positive stressors. They can also become negative, just depending on timing, circumstances, etc. Is remembering that if we truly want to live peaceful, healthy, thriving life, it starts with asking ourselves the question, what are the biggest things that are taking from us, that are cutting the bottom out of our cup? And little by little, removing and reducing what those things are in our finances, in our health, in our relationships, and being willing to go for the biggest thing that is perhaps the scariest to imagine removing: a vice, drugs, alcohol, certain foods. Choosing to prioritize This is something that I've done notoriously, video games, TV, or other things over prioritizing connection with myself or prioritizing connection with my significant other or friends or family, is not trying to be a perfect saint. If you're looking for the person who thinks that they have it all together and doesn't make mistakes and comes as a guru on the mountain, you got the wrong guy. It ain't me. I still eat things that are not in the highest of holies. Still do things that aren't in the highest of holies. And I don't know that my game is to ever be perfect. I think it's to just be a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And maybe one day that gets to a place where it's just like higher standard, but it's piece by piece, little by little. It's allowing ourselves to gently remember rather than to try and force prematurely a remembrance that isn't ready yet, because it is in layers. So thank you for being a part of this journey with me, because the more that I remember, the more that you remember, the more peace we cultivate within, and I can't help but believe that the world outside of us also becomes and feels more peaceful too, because we are working in cycles. I love you. I appreciate you for your time. And if you are wanting to really work on your own journey of dumping stress, feeling peaceful in your body, and allowing that peace to then be the thing that propagates and allows you to feel expanded and confident to create a life that's true and authentic to who you are, then you should come and hang out with me in the community in the Remembrance Dojo. The link is in the description. And outside of that, you have a really great rest of your day, really great rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.